today I'm going to be talking about the Revlon One Step dryer. This is what it looks like. I recently heard about it from a friend at work and she really loved using it. I tried it out and I really like using it as well. She has straight hair and I have curly hair. It works well on both of our hair types. So with the One Step, it has the plastic bristles and the boar-like bristles as well. The plastic is to just mostly detangle and make sure everything is feeding in properly, and then the boar is to really get that tension and smooth everything out. It has 3 different heat settings, so it has cool, low, and high. The high setting and the cool setting are pretty loud, but every blow dryer is pretty loud anyways. So I tried it on my curly hair and this is what my hair looked like before and after. And I typically dry it with a round brush or a flat brush. It takes significantly longer and a lot more effort. So I recorded the process of drying, that way you guys can get an idea of how to use it, what it looks like when you're using it, all that good stuff. I usually like to dry the root first, that way it doesn't take forever. The root I find is the hardest part to dry with the dryer because you can't quite get it super close to the root. So yeah, I just rough dry everything first, make sure it's fairly dry, and then that's when I go in, section everything out. I section the top as like a mohawk section, and then half of my head and the nape. That way everything's just nice and clean, nice and neat. You can go in, it's super quick while you're drying. You don't have to worry about sections falling, even though it kind of happens because of the shape of the brush. It's tricky to maneuver, but you get the hang of it. I started at the nape of my head and I wanted to blow dry everything outwards. So on this side I held it like so. On the other side is the opposite way. Sometimes I would even flip it upside down like this on the other side. If you wanted to get that bevel under, it would just be the opposite. So if you want it outwards, you're going to place the brush on top, and if you want it inwards, you place the brush underneath. While you're drying, you want to make sure you're taking sections that aren't bigger than the barrel of the brush. It has these plastic little bits on either side, and your hair can get caught in that. As long as you're making sure the direction of your hair is going nice and straight, you aren't going to run into that problem, so you don't have to worry about it too much. Another thing to think about is to not turn it too much. If you keep turning it, your hair is just going to get tangled in there. You don't have to turn it that much. As long as you have a good amount of tension, you'll be fine. And then once you get to the top, it gets a little bit trickier as well, but you just kind of have to turn your head like this and hope for the best. That's the way I like to do it, is tilt my head and go in that way. And usually once you're almost finished, and usually the ends start to dry out, so I usually just like to add a little bit of water. That way you can get it nice and smooth. You won't dry that frizz in your hair that was just from air drying. And that's it. Here's some more after pictures. And that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below, send me a DM. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Thanks for watching.